difference did the Soul of Leadership program make to you, Margie?
Participating in the Soul of Leadership, it came at exactly the right time for me. I had been running in many areas of my life, but particularly in my working life. I work in the humanitarian aid sector. It's a values-based sector. Leadership in that sector is value-based. And it also is a sector that brings with it immense pressure in the way that you're expected to work and, of course, in the enormous humanitarian challenges that we're dealing with in the world. And I was pretty exhausted when I joined Soul of Leadership, and in a kind of soul-weary sense. It was really important for me to actually step back and take those days that I did take to participate in the program to go deep within myself, to kind of nourish and nurture myself and my soul. And I think as a result of participating in the program, I would say that I feel like I'm a much more effective and much stronger leader.
Thank you.
So ways in which I think I've become a more effective leader, I think I'm a much more conscious and mindful leader. Participating in the program also has brought me to where I am now, which is co-facilitating and co-tutoring Soul of Leadership with Margaret. And that has been an immense privilege and an immense honour. And it really feels as if that was me being called to step up to the plate, to play another leadership role in this world. And it's one that I hugely value and I really relish. So participating in the Soul of Leadership program, it enabled me to connect with what leadership means for me at a really deep level. And that's as much about leading myself as about leading other people. And it also enabled me to connect my work in the world in humanitarian crises and with those affected by humanitarian crises, to really connect that much more directly with what I see as my spiritual path. Somehow there'd been a disconnect between them before I was part of the program, and it really enabled me to bring those two together. And that's been immensely valuable for me, and I hope also valuable for those that I work with and those that I am there to serve. I'm really aware of the need and the importance of pausing and reflecting, and especially those moments when you don't have the answers, of actually sitting with whatever the challenge is that's come up. And I really learned the concept of discernment on the Soul of Leadership program, how to discern what is the right decision, what is the right way to go forward, and how to take a team through that process of discernment. So those are some of the things that I now use regularly in my work in the humanitarian aid sector. I think it's a program that is for people from many different walks of life. Speaking for my own sector, I work in the humanitarian aid sector, and I can really see the value of this program for colleagues in the sector. We have to work often at a very fast pace, and there's often very little time to pause and reflect. And the Soul of Leadership program offers you that in a very manageable way. So for residentials over 18 months, you find you come to each residential just longing for that space to pause, to reflect, to go deep, to explore, to find new insights, to bring some of the challenges, the problems that you're facing in everyday life. And those residentials, they're like oases in many ways, oases in a very busy life, busy work schedule, that I think my observation would be for myself, for those I've seen going through the programme, is they come out of those residentials with renewed purpose, renewed energy, the batteries have been recharged, with a renewed connection to soul, and that makes all of us better leaders in the world. I think Soul of Leadership is really appropriate for so many of us, whether we're working in the voluntary sector, the private sector, whether we're working internationally in our own countries. The pace of life these days is intense, and technology, whilst it's got many benefits, it's also really speeded up the pace of life. And I think for many of us who at times in our lives feel that kind of deep sense of soul weariness and exhaustion from the speed at which we have to operate, I think this programme is a wonderful way of pausing, of taking stock, of re-engaging with what's really important in our lives, in the world, with re-engaging with the role that we might play in helping the world to be a better place. I can't think of many places other than the Soul of Leadership where one really gets that at a very deep level. I would really recommend it to people who might feel that they want that kind of space to explore what leadership means to them at a deep level, to really recharge the batteries, to be ready to re-engage with life with renewed purpose and certainly with renewed energy.